Now, this is a message for the young musicians out there. You know, us old guys, we've wised up, and we, a lot of people on my channel, me including, we don't drink anymore. You know, the things we used to do, we don't do no more, right? Like the old blues song says, right? The things I used to do, I don't want to do no more. But man, it's a little disturbing to hear about, this fentanyl crisis, because it is extremely dangerous. We all know the bar scene, playing in bars, and Nashville downtown. It's crazy down there with the amount of drinking and stuff that goes on. And when there is a concentrated area like Nashville especially, there are drug dealers that prey on the tourists and people and workers and band members and everybody else in downtown Nashville. And, for a while there, I don't know if they're still doing it because I haven't been down there in at least a couple of months, but they used to sell like the Delta 9 or whatever it is, the hemp-derived marijuana. They used to sell that in downtown Nashville, right on the street. They would set up a card table right on the street, and they were just openly selling this stuff. And they even had a cart. There was a cart downtown that would be selling this stuff, and you're thinking like, what in the loophole kind of thing is going on here? What exactly is going on? Well, I guess there's something in the Farm Bill that allows them to create this sort of hemp derivative concentrated type thing where they take hemp, which I guess is different, and they concentrate it, and they can create something that will, be similar to someone just smoking regular flower. So that creates a unique situation because, the guy, was it Riley Strain, who, ended up in the Cumberland River, drowned. It's a famous story. If you don't know about it, it happened a few months back. He got separated from his friends. He had a lot of drinks, way too many drinks. And he also had this Delta 9 stuff in his system. And, to each his own. But man, you've got to be smarter than that. You don't want to be wandering off from your friends in the middle of the night in downtown Nashville. Let me tell you something. It's not safe. It's not safe. And, this stuff being down there, now I think all of that stuff now has gone from being pushed on the street to, I think there's just storefronts where, people can get this stuff. And, that's not the worst thing that can happen. I get it. People want to partake, and they're from out of town and they don't know anybody. So, it's an option. It's an option for some. But combining it with all the alcohol down there, if you're eating, edibles and stuff like that, and then you're drinking tons on top of that, man, that's not a wise move for anybody. That's not a wise move. But what's way worse is the fentanyl. And, my hairstylist in Nashville, we were talking about this, and I know people rag on me about my hair. It's a wig, and bro, what are you doing? You're not 18 anymore. Let me tell you something. I know I'm not 18. I don't feel 18. And I don't move as quickly as I did at 18, but I still got a head of hair. I can't help it, bro. I can't help it. What do you want me to do? I was looking at people, men last night, and everybody's got a buzz cut. And man, I don't want a buzz cut, bro. I don't want a buzz cut. But my hairstylist was telling me that a friend of hers who was a bartender in downtown Nashville, a young girl, and she said she was a beautiful girl, was working as a bartender in downtown Nashville. And, as bartenders, musicians, and people that work downtown, and tourists and everybody, when they make that kind of money, it's tip money. Now, I've heard some crazy figures of the bartenders down there making, nothing to make $1,000 a night. So they've got, extra money. They've got what do they call it? Expendable income, and cash. And like people with that kind of extra money floating around, and they get off of work serving drunks all night, they're probably feeling like, man, I need a drink, and I'm gonna party now. Now that I'm off, now it's my turn to party. And so I guess this girl had, she had liked to, get it? People in the know will know. So she had reached out to try to get some powder for her nose. And her main guy, wasn't available. So she got some from somebody down on Broadway. And, well, that was a fatal mistake, because her boyfriend came home after his shift to find her dead from a fentanyl overdose. Now, she wasn't trying to buy fentanyl, but the thing that she purchased was laced with fentanyl, and apparently it was a deadly combination, and she was gone. So imagine that. Imagine coming home and finding your girlfriend, your beautiful girlfriend. You're coming home from work. You're pumped up. You're going to be happy to see. Maybe you're going to give them a kiss when you get home, and they're gone. They're gone. Nothing's really being done to stop the flow of that. I don't know enough about it, know where it comes from or any of that, because I'm not in that scene. I'm an old guy. I'm way wiser than to be messing around with stuff like that. But then another musician friend of mine, he told me, and he was doing Broadway gigs, so he was in the thick of it downtown. And he was telling me about a guitar player that he was playing with down there. And he had a similar penchant for after show festivities, shall we say. And he had brought some girl, from the bar home, his girlfriend or a girl, I don't know. But my friend told me he watched him. He watched both of them. And they were hanging out, drinking. And my friend wasn't partaking. But the other two were sitting there, and they're doing their thing, right? And instead of giving energy and, how people on that kind of thing do, it's like a shot of espresso. Instead of it being like a shot of espresso, he noticed they got up and they both stumbled towards the bedroom and out. Now, it didn't kill him, but man, that is not what they were probably seeking is something to put them to sleep. That's exactly what happened. So it is infested down there in Nashville. And there are dealers in Nashville, and they are there to serve the tourists, to serve the musicians, to serve the service workers, the bartenders, the waitresses, the waiters. I mean, look, the restaurant business is a business that I worked in quite a bit. And like I said, people making cash every night, and they're serving drunks, and they're seeing people partying and doing all this. And, a lot of them, when they get off work, they figure this is my time now. This is my party time. And they've got all day, because they worked all night. They've got all day to sleep it off. So a lot of people in that industry, we know it. People watching my channel know it. They do things. They do these things. And so the drug dealers, they prey on these people. They're serving these people. And I don't know, not all these drug dealers are going to be aware of what's in their stuff. I'm not saying anybody's doing this deliberately. I don't think that they are. But, this stuff is extremely powerful. It's extremely deadly. So I would not recommend anybody do anything. It's just not safe anymore. And that includes smoking, if you know what I mean. I don't have to spell everything out for you, because I have read cases of where I'm living now. I have read cases of where I'm living now in this little small town that I'm in, of parents coming home and finding their children gone because they got a little smoke, like kids will do. We were all young once doing dumb stuff. But these kids got a little smoke, and boom, it was in there, and they're gone. So this is not just something for people that are a little more advanced in the party department. This is something that's affecting a lot of people, and it's taking a lot of people out, and I don't see anything being done about it. And I've said before on this channel, the easiest thing to do is take out somebody on drugs. I don't know if this is some grand conspiracy, but what do people say? Oh, well, they were doing drugs. But man, kids should not be worried about this if they're just having a little smoke. Kids are going to experiment just like they're going to experiment with alcohol. So this is a very real problem, and I would urge everybody to have the talk with their kid when they're of age to start thinking like this and start trying things. You need to have a talk with your children. You need to have a talk with your bandmates. You need to have a talk with your bartenders and friends, people in the service industry, and if any tourists. I know as a musician, I've had people come up to me and ask me if I can hook them up. I've had friends that are coming to town say, hey, can you hook me up? And, first of all, you need to tell them it's not safe, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because the last thing you want is for something terrible, like a death, happen to somebody who just simply wants to blow off some steam.